welcome into TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for yet more build-up ahead of Celta Vigo against Barcelona. Coming here, the words of Quique Setien, and believe me, this was a big press conference, and I was really eagerly awaiting this today, especially after everything that went on yesterday with regard to Arthur Melo. I was interested to see here whether Setien would confirm his departure in this press conference, and as well, looking ahead to tomorrow, can we see Ansu, can we see Riqui Puig in the team? And I think it's safe to say that Quique Setien did cover those bases. There was 17 questions in total put Quique's way, and 6 of those were all on the subject of Arthur, and several as well surrounding Riqui Puig. It's all coming up in today's video. Let's do it. But if we first of all just start here with the title race, of course, we are still fighting for this league title. They're joint on points with Real Madrid. And Quique Setien in that press conference there was basically asked, do you still believe that Real Madrid will slip up? He said in the past that he feels as though they're not going to win every single game. And he was asked there, are you still believing you can win this title? And he said, look, we have 7 games still left to play. And even for a club like Madrid or ourselves, it's very difficult that you win every single game. He said, we've already drawn one. Real Madrid haven't dropped points yet. He said they are in good form, but anything can happen. And he said, for me, I still believe they will make a mistake at some point. I think the title race will run until the final game of the season. Quique Setien still believing in that title, saying there that Real will slip up. But believe me, guys, let's cut right to the chase here, because it did not take long. In fact, it was the second question. I was actually surprised that it wasn't the first question surrounding Arthur Melo, but the inevitable came, and Quique Setien there was basically asked, number one, how's he feeling? How's his mental state right now? Is he in any condition to be playing for Barcelona for the rest of the season, given the fact his departure to Juventus is nearly complete? And is indeed that going to be confirmed? Now, Setien said, look, he said, don't assume things that haven't happened yet. He said, you're assuming there that Arthur Melo is gone. He said, the club haven't told me that Arthur is leaving. He hasn't left yet, and he still remains, therefore, part of my plans. He said, we can't assume that Arthur is going to be departing. But he did go on to say, for the rest of the season, I have said before that I will need every single player. Arthur is included in that list. He said today he's going to be training. Tomorrow I expect him to travel to Celta Vigo, and he does have the opportunity to play a part in the game. But he did say, I've got to make sure here all of that noise surrounding him, all of that speculation, it doesn't affect him if he is going to be out on the field. Players who are in this situation, who may have transfers ahead of them, they should still give their best until the end of the season. Surely they would aim to leave with a title, to leave with good memories. And I think that there was the biggest indication that Arthur Melo is going to moving on at the end of the season. Of course, he's going to stay in the team for the remainder of the La Liga season, even the Champions League as well in August. This is very strange right now, with transfers taking place potentially still during the season. But Setien, even though he didn't confirm it, certainly there, that Arthur deal, sadly, is moving closer. And it was interesting there because Setien was very much pressed on Arthur and exactly what's gone wrong. They said the expectations when Arthur signed, it was so high. The journalists there were saying that in the past, even Messi has compared Arthur in his characteristics to Xavi Hernandez. And Setien was basically asked there, Valverde wanted to improve Arthur. He felt like there was more that needed to come from him. He said, what do you think has gone wrong with Arthur Melo at Barcelona? And Setien said, I can't really talk about what happened before me. He said, I wasn't a part of that, so I can't really go into any details. But he said, since he's been with me, I can say this. He says he's shown so much interest in what we're asking of him. He's always tried to implement the changes that we wanted in his game. He said there's things that we tried to adjust with Arthur Melo, but it's not always easy to do that with every single player. He said perhaps in the team he has lacked there a little continuity, but he is a player who's able to keep the ball, he's able to move it, he's shown tremendous improvements in his game. But he did go on again and say that sometimes changing a player isn't easy. He said under one coach he may have been asked to do different types of things, and he specifically mentioned there playing there 1 or 2 touch. And it seemed to me in this press conference that Quique Setien wanted more from Arthur in terms of the speed of play. He kept mentioning there 1 or 2 touches, playing there with a quick rhythm, with a quick tempo, and I just feel as though that was one thing there maybe that he was trying to get across to Arthur. But he did go on and say Arthur for me is on the right path. He said everything that he's learned here here, the experience that he's had will make him a better player, and he will be a great player in the future. So clearly there, the expectation for Arthur is still going to be high. Of course, we are still all very, very angry that this deal is going ahead. And I just want to bring you here, away from Setien for a moment, a report coming out in the Spanish media from Sir, who quite often are pretty reliable, because they say that it's not just the fans who are unhappy. It's not just us here who are not understanding this deal, but the players too, because Sir have come out and said the dressing room doesn't understand why Arthur is being sold and why Pjanic is being brought in, and the dressing room are not too happy with this particular piece of business. And that's very, very interesting indeed. Whether or not that's true, the players, of course, are not going to come out and speak publicly about that. But certainly behind the scenes, if I was a player there, especially if I was a young, exciting talent up and coming at Barcelona, I'd be looking around thinking, that's not a great look. That doesn't exactly fill me with confidence right now. And I think the players, to be honest, will be feeling very, very similar to all of us Barca fans. It's a feeling of frustration. I do, though, want to move away from Arthur, because even though the press conference there with Setien was dominated by Arthur questions, there was time to talk about the young, exciting Riqui Puig, and a player there who has such potential, and in this game, could he start? And that was the question there that first of all came to Quique Setien. They said, given the fact there that Busquets is suspended, Arthur Melo with his future uncertain, and De Jong injured, could this be a great game to start Riqui Puig? And Setien came back with some very encouraging words. He said, yes, it could be the right moment for sure to start Puig. He said he's going to have even more now of a chance with the absences we have in the team, because he was already breaking through with everybody available. And now it'll be even more so with young Riqui Puig. And it was interesting as well, because even then he was then asked to elaborate more on exactly how Puig has been used throughout Setien's time at the club. Because you remember, of course, when Setien came in, Puig was straight away into the first team squad. He came on there in Setien's first ever game as Barca coach, and he had a real impact in that game. But after that, he was used very, very sparingly. And it does seem as though now Puig is getting back into Setien's favour again. And he was basically asked there, what's happening? What has happened there throughout your time at the club with Puig, and how is he looking now? And he actually went on to say, I think Riqui has shown important progress in the time we've spent with him. He said his attitude has always been excellent, extraordinary even. He said there have been things that we've had to indicate to him that he has to improve, that he has to raise his level here to be within the first team, and that he gets more comfortable with exactly what the team needs and what he can give us out on the field. He said there was a period after I joined there where Puig wasn't involved, and he said recently though, he's really come back. He's fought, he's shown a lot of energy, he's shown a lot of enthusiasm, and he's been performing in every single minute that he's been given out on the field, and he said he's been doing that as well in training. And that is exactly what we're asking of him. That's the way forward for Puig. Just like other players too, this is a process. Some will get it quicker than others, but Puig is on the right track, and now we need him to maintain this level to have more and more chances in this team. And I think certainly with all of the frustration, with all of the sadness surrounding the situation with Arthur Melo, that quite frankly, as fans, we cannot change, we cannot make him stay, we cannot change the board's mind to cast him away. But what we can do is be very, very happy now that Riqui Puig, it really seems as though this could be a massive chance for him this weekend. He came on against Athletic, he was given a good chunk of the game to come on and have an impact. He took that chance, he grabbed it with both hands, and he was outstanding. The energy that he showed, the way that he affected the game, it was absolutely terrific. What we've got to see now, though, is him from the start, because a few people have had a few doubts there about whether Riqui could have that same impact from the beginning of the game, and that's the test now. Setien has said it there, that he's improved a lot of things about his game, that he's kept on fighting, that he's kept on working, and now a start for the Barcelona first team in a crucial game away at Celta. That could await Riqui, and I cannot wait to see what he's going to produce. Please, take this opportunity. We know you have the talent. So please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. There is plenty to discuss from today's conference from Quique Setien. What do you think there about his words on Arthur Melo? And in particular there, what did you make of the way that he was talking there about that 1 and 2 touch from Arthur? And of course, let me know what you're expecting tomorrow from Setien in terms of his lineup. And if Puig is there from the start, can he still have that impact? Can he still show that energy? Let me know all of those thoughts in the comments down below. If you did miss it earlier, how I would line up in this game is already on the channel for you. And of course, before the game, make sure you're checking out more TalkFCB, the second channel, where the lineup reaction will be coming. Thanks for your support, guys. Thanks once again for joining me. To Barbados, to Galicia. We need these 3 points. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.